We should talk about how you're scared to ask a personal trainer for help. Let's talk about that.
We'll get to those. We'll get to those questions. We'll get to those questions for sure. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Ordinary Freaks. Eddie here. I got B.
What's up, guys?
Today, we have another special guest. This man has been in the industry of health and fitness for over 12 years. He's owner of his own fitness club. I consider this man a pro athlete and fight me. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
But
That's awesome.
please help me in welcoming Lex Jaramillo.
Wow. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. If I could have an intro like that all the time, I just pay you to follow me around, man. That's cool.
Man, we just need the soundtrack, right?
No, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Anything I could do to add some exposure to you guys' work, because I love what you guys are doing, and hope in turn that I can spread some knowledge and some wealth of knowledge your guys' way. So appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for coming, man. I want to start off, get right into it. 12 years working out, fitness, health, nutrition, all the above. When does that come into the picture? Were you always this into fitness world, making sure your body's A-okay?
Yeah, I mean, I learned to like it by just doing it. I mean, when I was growing up, I didn't really know that I was gonna, like working out. It's just you see a bunch of dudes doing it in school and, powerlifting and getting ready for football, and I was just never really into it in middle school and those kind of things because I just wasn't a sports guy growing up like my brothers were. So it just kind of hit me, and in my later years of high school when I started playing baseball and started going to the gym with my brothers, and I just kind of developed the passion for it as I was doing it. I didn't really like it or before I had tried it out, so just by doing it I knew that my body started changing, and I started asking people questions, and everything just became really interesting to me. So I just decided to pursue it and just started working out as a hobby. And then after doing it for so long, you just you like it. You just like
the hobby turns into a profession.
Yeah. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, the body starts changing, and after learning about the human body and how amazing it is, you just develop a passion for it, and it's just really cool seeing your body change, and then other people changing their bodies, and it's a cool feeling. It's a cool thought to think about, and it's cool to see.
Yeah. So you went to school at UWM, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does your that's not career, not major, your
Focus.
With your focus kinesiology, like did you plan onto that, or as you were kind of growing into working out and love for it, you were just like, hey, let me do this kind of thing?
Yeah, in a perfect world. Yeah, I would have just said, yeah, I want to go to school for this, and then it would plan out, get a job, and that'd be the end of it. But it's just not how it worked out. Like most people my age, going to school, like when you graduate high school, you go to college, and I'd say a little less than a quarter of people that graduate college know exactly what they want to get into.
Right.
And I was the same way. I went to school. My parents wanted me to go to school, get my degree and all that good stuff, and I wanted to too, but I just didn't know what my focus was going to be. I knew it wanted to be business related. At first, I went into management information systems. I was interested in computers. Then I switched it over to business, and I just didn't have a passion for it. Like most people going to school and you don't have a passion for something, you'll kind of fall out of it. And that's what happened to me. And I just developed more of a passion for working out and fitness and the human body, and it landed me in that focus of degree. So that's how it came about.
That's great that you say that, because in all honesty, I don't feel like a lot of people know what they want to do straight out the bat. Like we're, like yourself, like your family kind of pushes you. So you kind of have to either follow those, your parents' wishes and demands, just because obviously they are your parents, right? They want the best for you.
Yeah.
And even though that's not something that you might want to pursue in the future, at least you can rely back on, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was terrible at school. I just couldn't focus. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to me that, you just go to school because you feel like it's the right thing to do. And, I'm not an advocate of saying, hey, drop out of school. That's not what I'm saying. But, it's good to stay disciplined and, focus on your studies and graduate, take it to the next level. And that's awesome that people can do that. for me, I just didn't, I couldn't study. I had a hard time focusing and,
Yeah.
Finding out what I really love to do. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to get a degree in, human movement systems, why am I so struggling with stats right now? It's like, those kind of classes, it just didn't resonate with me, and I just couldn't focus. And, I always struggled with school, and, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a failure. It's just not your thing.
Right.
But stay disciplined, stay the course, and if that's what you want to do, get your degree, focus on that, grind it out. And then once you're done with that, on to the next part of your life. So, people tell me all the time, I suck at school. I'm not good at it. So find something you love to do. If you want to get a job, do that, pursue that. But if that's what you want to do and finish, you got to grind it out for those next couple of years and get your degree and on to the next level. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
So, school wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But where I'm at right now, it taught me a lot of things to put me in the position I'm at today to, for people to take me a little bit more seriously with the education I have behind my name. So school.
So after school, you're doing kinesiology and learning more about that. What was your next move? I'm sure, like you said, out of high school, you don't know what the heck you're going to do.
Right.
I'm sure out of college, it might have kind of been the same situation like it is for a lot of people. What was your next steps, after that?
Yeah, honestly, I had a family that comes from brothers that played baseball. That's all they did growing up. They started in middle school and some of them in elementary school, traveling teams, all that stuff. And that just wasn't me. So for me, it just, I started playing late in high school and, went to college from that. Didn't pursue college baseball or anything like that, like my brothers did. I just kind of, like I said earlier, I found an interest and passion in working out. So I just kind of decided to get a job, personal training. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know anything about it. My first interview was the weirdest interview in the world, man. I tell you what, this guy brought me into Qdoba or a taco shop or something like that and told me to write down 5 exercises of different body parts. And I'm like, this is it? This is how I qualify to be a personal trainer? Okay. But, that's not the real world. It's just how that specific interview went. And, it landed me a job. And, I was just kind of a bit off more than I could chew at the time. And, just thankful for that opportunity. And I got to learn from some really higher up people, had some great mentors along the way. And, I'm lucky I got a chance when I did. So, to be honest with you, I got lucky getting that position because the interviews that I would do are a lot more thorough than what that guy did for me. I went from there, started with a company that was just like a subcontractor company into like a larger gym. They ended up going out of business, and I got brought on by the large health club, and it started from there. You just kind of go from there, and there's certain things happen for a reason.
Gotcha.
It just put me in the position to succeed. So
Obviously, you just talked about the transition to the other gyms, right?
yeah,
I kind of want to touch on like how does that experience play with you? Like, I don't know anything about gyms. Like,
Right.
I never, personally, I've never gone to a trainer and said like, "Hey, can you help me?"
yeah. Why?
To be honest, it's just I think one of it, I'm scared, right?
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
The other, I'm just ashamed of myself. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, I'm just a big ass
Yeah.
dude. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
it's-
cool that you can say that, man. That's cool.
Right. But yeah, man, like I wanna hear your story about like obviously jumping ship to the other company and then kind of working your way up.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned that a little bit prior when we first met.
Yeah.
But I really want to get that full story out of you.
Well, buckle up. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody has their own situation of how they got into the position they're at right now. And for me, like I said, I didn't pursue sports, and I had to find something else I was passionate about. And it ended up being fitness for me. And then when I got the position with the company that hired me on with the week interview, I did that for a few months, just kind of learned from everybody else around me because it seemed like everybody else knew exactly what they were doing, and I was just kind of like, yeah, awesome. And I'll be honest with you, I knew I loved working out, but I didn't know like the techniques and the forms and all that good stuff that people expected me to know when they pay for a personal trainer. So I didn't want to like make people feel like they were paying for something and they didn't really have an educated individual. It's just a company that took a chance on me, and I just ended up learning over time. So when I I worked with this company for a while. They got bought out. They were going out of business. You know, now that I know, I mean, they were doing things really sketchy with business, and you know, it's probably why they're not around anymore.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, it still put me in the position to train people and meet people, and I met some pretty awesome people along the way. They got bought out by a company called Cardinal Fitness, and I joined with them for a while. I mean, they're still out in Indiana right now. They're no longer around this area, but you know, I ended up working them for multiple years, and then you know, this another company came in and bought them out, and I ended up moving on to the next company. So these type of transitional periods that I had to like adapt to different management styles, different training styles, and it's just I put in work over the years, and I just kept hoping for something bigger to come up. I never knew I was going to get into management. That's just where it took me. I was afraid to take that next step, took a risk, and it landed me in multiple management positions. And I still remember the day today where I was a personal trainer for it was like 8 years. And my boss asked me, "Are you ready to accept a management position?" I was like, "What? I've been training for so long. I'm not ready for that."
Yeah.
And then they kept telling me that you can do it. And I finally said, "Okay, let's do it." So then they moved me to another position, and that's how my management career started. And then I thought I was going to be a trainer forever. I didn't know anything about management and selling, and I just kept learning from people, asking questions, and it just brought me to where I'm at, you know, today. I ended up owning my own business, and I'm just glad I took those steps, even when I was a little sketchy about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to happen. I honestly didn't. Management, it's a lot of responsibility, and people depend on you, and I just didn't think I was ready for it, but I just kind of got thrown in the fire, and ended up being successful, and it ended up being okay. So
Gotcha.
it works.
Yeah. First time we met, you mentioned kind of getting away from a certain environment, certain situations. You mentioned working in, I don't know if it was downtown Milwaukee, but just the club or bar promoting scene.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that, kind of learning lessons, and, you know, what brought you, or, you know, not, I guess, the situation, if you don't speak on that, but within you, what brought you to kind of, you know, decide to move away from that and focus on what's important?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I was in the service industry for a while. I built some really awesome relationships. There's some cool people that I met, and I still keep in contact with some acquaintances every now and then. I got a chance to meet some really cool people who are still in the service industry doing some pretty awesome things. It just wasn't for me anymore. So I was a promoter for downtown Milwaukee when I was personal training. I had to make some additional income while I was in school, and you know, I threw parties and met a lot of people, and you know, helped some bar owners bring some people to their venue, and I thought I did a pretty good job with it. You know, I had a pretty good network of people back in the day. I mean, there's some people now that claim that the party scene ain't what it used to be when we were going out, but you know, I can attest to that because there were some pretty awesome days, and it was pretty cool. I met a lot of cool people, so you know, I don't regret any of that stuff. It just, as I got older and I wanted something different for my life, it just wasn't going out anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't like feeling hungover. I didn't like drinking as much anymore, and I just didn't like the feeling of, you know, where is this going? There was really no future in it for me. But you know, a couple of people I met that were bartenders at the time are now bar owners downtown. There's some cool people that are, you know, DJing 6-7 nights a week, and you know, there's some pretty awesome people still doing that kind of stuff. So I don't down talk the service industry at all, because it put me in a position to meet a lot of cool people.
Gotcha.
And I still go back every now and then, go out and, you know, meet these same people that were bartenders when I was going out, are doing some pretty awesome stuff. So it's just business in a different industry, in different realm. So I'm proud of those guys for doing what they're doing. And it's just, for me, it just wasn't the path for me. So I decided to pursue my passion, my love. So it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we resonate with that a lot. You know, I think we both kind of grew out of that whole like party scene, right? Like,
Yeah.
And some people don't. And I think that's okay. I mean, I think having that self-awareness is key to everything, right? Because if you wouldn't have that, you probably would have been, you know, stuck for way longer than you might have anticipated, even foreseen, right? Like you could have been there for 5-10 more years. Yeah. And then one day you would have woken up and you would have been like, where's my life going?
Yeah,
right?
it's just too easy to fall into that stuff. I mean, the drinking, the partying, I mean, the network of people. And for me, I was pretty popular. It was a cool feeling walking in the bar and everybody like give you know, dabs and all that stuff. Like, what's up, man? I mean, that was cool. I mean, for me, it's just hard to break away from that. And I was lucky enough to be like this. I got to chill out with this, and I got to do something else. I got to move away from the city. And again, I want to make it clear that I don't hate on those people that are doing those kind of things.
Right.
If your focus is to bump up to the next level, to be a DJ, to be a promoter, if you're just a going out kind of guy, or if you're to be a bar owner, if you're to take bartending to the next level, that's cool. I'll still support you doing that thing. But there's got to be a next level to that.
Right.
I mean, you just can't do that stuff every single day and expect to live this glamorous lifestyle. It's just not going to happen.
for sure.
It didn't happen for me. So
So how did you get away from that? What steps did you take?
for me, it was just, I was promoting a party one day. I mean, I was drinking by myself in a corner while everybody else was partying, and I was like, "Damn, this kind of sucks."
Yeah.
It just. I think that's just when it hit me, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. And I love the people, I love the DJs. I still maintain some of those great friendships, and I say that over and over again because there's nothing bad about that. It's just that if you take it to the next level, and you just, it's going to hinder your success if you're just all you're focusing on. Like, it's cool to celebrate successes in your life. It's cool to go out and have a drink with your boys. It's cool to have a few shots to celebrate a big accomplishment or in your life. You know what I mean? I'm all about that.
Right.
But if that's what you're doing, that's the focus. And it's like other people are like, hey, you're partying a little too much. You're going out 5, 6, 7 nights a week. And if the bar special 7 days a week, you got to tone it back a little bit.
Yeah,
but I made it into a little business. I had a promoting business that I made great money off of. And I used that, met a great group of people, and I just kind of moved on. And I knew it wasn't for me anymore. So I just had to put my focus into one area of my life, and that was fitness and my family. So got me to where I'm at right now.
It's great to pivot.
Yeah. Life lessons. Got to learn from it. We should talk about how you're scared to ask a personal trainer for help. Let's talk about that.
We'll get to those. We'll get to those questions. We'll get to those questions for sure. But before that,
Yeah.
You mentioned that your dad built his business from the ground up. One of the first Mexican-owned businesses that in a sense actually became a real success, right? Where he's doing huge projects that that are influence of the city. Do you feel, and I mean, I'm sure I know the answer already, but do you feel that coming from that type of background, seeing your dad, and I'm sure you work with them, I'm sure you help them along. But having that kind of as a backdrop, do you think that helped you propel to what you are now as far as Motifaith Fitness? And then how did that story begin?
Well, absolutely. My father was a big reason for my continued work ethic as I continue to grow and evolve in my own life. It's all about what you see at growing up. And I used to see my father working constantly, long hours, hard work. He even put me in a construction hat sometimes, and I was like, damn, this sucks. Because it's hard work.
I've been there, man.
And it's no joke. I mean, I give mad props to those laborers that are, pushing 40, 60 hours a week, breaking concrete and, bricklaying and excavation and doing machine work. It's hard work. So he just decided to take it to another level and, start his own business. And I think, he's going on 35 plus years now that he's owned his own business. And as a minority owned company, who sometimes he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, he just kind of, never backs down and keeps applying for jobs and keeps bidding jobs and gets work. And he doesn't have this huge crew of people. It's just him and a couple guys. And he puts in work every single day. He still does. He's 60 plus years old now, and he doesn't want to quit. He even comes to my gym, starts cleaning up, and I'm like, dang, chill out a little bit. But it's awesome.
Slow,
yeah. I mean, that's Pops for you. He just he loves his family. He loves what he does, and he made a good living off of it. And he's been able to provide for us through thick and thin. Hasn't always been easy, but he continued to work and show us some mad work ethic. And I appreciate him for that. And I had a stay-at-home mom, and they just celebrated their, I think, 45th year anniversary. I mean, it's crazy. You don't see that
Congrats
too much
to them.
nowadays.
Right,
I appreciate that, man. So it's cool. I mean, they're a huge reason for the type of work we put in, and just seeing him put in work every single day and being able to work for him a few days a week and see what kind of hard work it is. it just it adds a little bit more value to my life. So I'm thankful for that. So he keeps working. I don't know if he's ever going to stop, but he better chill out a little bit, or he needs me to personal train him. But he's doing good. He's doing good.
That's great to hear.
So, at this point, I think school and promoting and getting into the fitness world, you kind of had your ups and downs, and then through management, you had a big down at the end of everything.
Yeah.
That kind of not forced you, but gave you the opportunity to do what you really wanted to do or pursue something completely different of your own. Can you tell us about, going through that experience and launching the gym you own now?
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough to think about because I put myself in a position to open my own business, and it wasn't a position that I had voluntarily made. Mm-hmm. I'm blessed beyond belief that I'm in a position where I'm at, where I get to own my own business. And ultimately what happened was I got let go during a really difficult time of my career, my fitness career. I mean, everything was going great for me for the last 10 plus years. I was getting along with people, I was getting along with management, and then all of a sudden they decided to cut my position. It was a week before Christmas, a week and a half before my birthday. It was just it was a tough time. I still have questions about, what happened and why. You always ask why when negative things happen, bad things happen. Mm-hmm. And I finally got to a point where I said, why not me instead of why me, with the help of, my immediate family and, my girlfriend and my son that was just born. It was just you can either just sulk in your own sorrows and just feel sorry for yourself, or you can do something else. You can start a business. I mean, you've been wanting to do that for the longest time. Again, just like when you were transitioning into a management position, you were scared to take the risk.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just kept telling myself that if you're going to do it, now's your chance. Now's your chance. I mean, I love that company that I work for so much. I probably would have got their logo tatted on my back. I mean, that was my allegiance to that company. And like most workers who love what they do and they love the company they work for, they can attest to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really let down, and I was really scared for a moment in my life. And it's okay to be scared, but you just got to do something. You got to do something else to pick yourself up, because nobody's going to feel sorry for you at the end of the day. Every one of my coworkers, every one of my friends that I thought were my boys and my girls, my homegirls that were at the company with me. I mean, you kind of lose touch after a while, and they're like, I'm not losing my job, hanging out with you. I'm like,
deuces.
Yeah, it's like your circle gets smaller, and your friends start going away, and the people that you thought were friends go away, and it was a really dark place for me, and it was a really lonely place for me. But like I said, my family was my rock, and it just gave me the opportunity to start over and continue on my fitness journey. And I got an opportunity to start my own business. My father, my parents, and my brothers were all supportive, and you have a son that's looking up to you, and you just want to be able to tell him that you didn't stop, you didn't quit. Mm-hmm. You wanted to keep going, and I did all the paperwork, did all the design work, did my own website, made my own marketing material, and we opened up on June 6th of 2016. So we're going on 2 years here.
Coming up.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. I didn't think I'd make it, because it was scary. But every single day you're learning something new, and here we are. We're keeping grinding. It's cool.
So how long was that period between you getting let go and finally launching your business?
That was 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, I had a week to feel sorry for myself because the bills kept coming in.
No, for sure.
Luckily, I did really well that quarter before. I had a couple bonus checks that allowed me to keep living and just settle down and kind of make my plans for the future. Mm-hmm. I didn't prepare for that type of thing to happen to me. I mean, who really does?
Right.
But luckily, the finances were with me at the time, and it gave me a chance to just build the business from my house. And I had some really supportive people along the way that helped me out. And 6 months from that time to me opening and building up a vacant rent space, that's all it took. And that's it. You just move from there. So luckily, it didn't take longer than that, because I don't think I would have been able to afford it. So, so it's cool, man. It's It's crazy how things happen.
Right. Wow. Do you think you would have, opened your business if that wouldn't happen?
I think I would have, but I just don't think I knew when it was going to happen. When you're put in a position where people take care of you, like, and I wish to do the same for my employees in the future, is that you build a company big enough where you can take care of your employees that they never want to leave. And for me, that's where I was at the time, where I was getting taken care of so well that I didn't think I was ever going to leave. I just had an idea on the back burner in case, and which I'm thankful for, because some people don't prepare for that. And I always did. I always had ideas that I would jot down in a notebook or a journal that I would always come back to. Or if I had an idea like, oh, I would do this if I had my own facility, or I would do this if I had my own gym, or I like this equipment. If I ever had my own gym, I'm gonna put it in my gym. So I would always jot ideas down like that on the side of it. It's just, you always got to stay ready. You always got to stay ready. Even if you're comfortable in a position where you're working, you just got to stay ready for the next step, because you never know when the opportunity is going to come. And luckily for me, I stayed ready, and I had a couple ideas, and I just went from there. So thankful. Cool.
So now that you're going to go be 2 years with the gym, what do you say are some of the top 3, lessons you've learned as you're kind of going through this journey of owning your own business?
One thing I've learned, man, top 3, I have like 50.
Oh man, top 10.
Yeah, no. So, some of the things I've learned is don't be afraid to ask, for help. And that's not saying that you can't be prideful about what you do, because sometimes pride will drown you because you think you know it all. But one of the biggest things that when I got started is, I used to work in a large health club, and I didn't know anything about small studio spaces. And it's a completely different business. When I opened my facility, I thought I was going to have lines of people coming up to sign up memberships, just like they were at the large health club. And when I opened up, I had like 2 people call, and 1 people would just look in the window, seeing if I was open or not. So I'm like, streamers, just a single balloon. But it's just, don't be afraid to ask for help. I called studios, and I looked up websites, like West and East Coast, and what are the popular guys doing? What are they doing to be so successful? Why does this person that or this company have, thousands of followers, or even, close to the point where they're just so popular that even people that aren't even going to the gym are following these people. So I wanted to know why. How did you get to where you were at? So I called these people up, and, the majority of the time they answered the phone, even the studio owners. So you chop it up with them for a little bit, ask them questions, ask them how they got so successful. And most of the time, these people are willing to sit down with you and talk to you about, how they got to where they're at. So I use some of the same tips that they gave me, and I use it towards my facility today. So don't be afraid to ask for help, and be patient. Number 2, everybody wants everything right now. I mean, I want to be a millionaire tomorrow, but honestly, it's not going to happen unless you put in the work, and it takes time. I want, 10s, 20, 30 trainers at my facilities, and I want to grow Motifaith into multiple facilities that I can go to every popular city in the Midwest and see my studio facility pop up. But I know that I have to set the foundation for where my studio is at right now. I have to lay the groundwork for Motifaith Fitness Hales Corners. And, I have to get things right. I have to set a process up. I have to set the tour right. I have to make sure the employees know what's going on. I have to make sure that the clients are getting exactly what they pay for. It's a service. So as long as you work out all the kinks there and you have a process down, flat, it can work. You just got to flourish from that. So be patient, and good things will pay off as long as you're putting in the work. And, I was talking to you earlier about a quote that I heard is, never follow your passion, follow your effort. Because at some point in everybody's life, everybody's like, do what you love. Follow your passion. Do what you love, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And, that resonated with me too. I'm like, oh, shit. I like gym. I'm going to open a gym. And, that's cool. You can follow your passion. But I've learned that you have to follow your effort. Because where you spend your time and where you're not spending your time ultimately will tell you exactly where your future is headed. So if you're putting in work in learning more about the gym, or if you're putting in work and learning more about eating healthy, or if you're putting in work learning more about how to own your own business, whether it's a gym or not, I mean, that's where your future is going to lead. If you find yourself, loving the fitness gym, but you're spending more time on the computer. Maybe you're doing more of a computer programming for fitness facilities. It's just all about where you're putting your effort. You know, if you like camera work, like my guy over there, if you're just doing this and you like being a part of all this, you know that it's going to lead to something a little bit more engineering on the side of this things. And, you know, to summarize it, you follow where your effort is. If you put in effort and you put in work on the things you love to do, you'll ultimately become passionate about it. And, you know, that's what I've learned, to be patient, follow your effort, and things take time. So it's awesome, man. It's cool if you're just patient.
I think that's one thing that at least my 2018 New Year's resolution fitness career, you can call it, has been teaching me. You know, I mentioned it to you. I'm trying to prepare for this marathon.
Yeah.
And I still suck at running. Right, like, terrible form. I mean, no form at all.
Yeah.
I might as well be rolling on the ground rather than freaking running.
Yeah.
But I do feel like a difference when I run. You know, like now, and I think it's more about the patience rather than the actual muscle growth or anything like that. It's more like I'm becoming more patient. So like say like a 5K run feels like a mile run now.
Right.
And that's because I've just been doing 10Ks every day because I just have to prepare for that.
Yeah.
And it's like, now it's like, oh, that was it. Like, that was cool. Like,
yeah. Once
you
you
know?
do it, it's like, damn, this ain't so bad. I can
yeah.
do, I
mean,
do more.
and I see people running that just fly past me and I'm like, man, those are fast. But
Right.
then I'm like, and you know, and that could be an 80-year-old passing by me. At the same time, I'm like, he's probably been doing it for 40 plus years.
Right.
I just started 2 months ago. So I can't, you know, you got to set your expectations too and be realistic.
Exactly.
And it just comes down to patience.
Exactly. And I think just people are afraid to take that step to even commit themselves to a marathon because it's scary. I don't even like to run. I own a gym
scared,
and I'm like,
man. I'm scared.
I don't like feeling huffing and puffing, but there's a reason why you get that way. It's because you allowed yourself to be sedentary or just live in this monotonous lifestyle that doesn't have any room for activity. So you just got to change it. And once you change your mindset, you can do some awesome things. And that's kind of the basis where Motifaith came from, was believing in yourself. Faith is obviously a belief in something, someone. And we just kind of market around that. Our brand is to believe in yourself and know that you can do more than what you actually you think that your body can do. So people can do some amazing things if they just try.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we base our name around.
How important is health and working out?
I mean, if you want to live, then I mean, it's everything. I mean, people need to take more consideration about their health and wellness.
Yeah.
This industry in health, fitness, and wellness is just not going away. For one reason, people just don't take care of themselves enough. And the type of position, the service industry that I'm in right now is just helping people and holding them accountable and motivating them. There's always going to be a space for that because people just live in this lifestyle where they're just too busy. So if I can provide, as a business owner, 45 minutes of an efficient, highly motivated, and accountable workout, you're going to come back. And, you know, that's basically what we are. We are cheerleaders pointing you in the right direction to get fit and healthy.
Yeah.
Because people just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, they they're saying, I need to do it. I wish I could do it. I need to do something soon. Yeah. But when? Because the next 3 or 4 or 5 months are going to pass by whether you work out or not. And if you decide to do it right now, you're more likely to succeed than if you weren't. See, I'm already working on you already. See,
I know.
It's working already.
So feel guilty already. I ran today, man.
And honestly, I believe, and I may get criticized for this, but I believe I'm the best at what I do in the industry. I'm the best, and I have to have that mindset because I want my employees to feel the same way. They are the best trainers in the industry. We are the best personal training fitness facility in the greater Milwaukee area. And I honestly, wholeheartedly, no bullshit, I believe it. I believe it. Because if you surround yourself with that best mentality, you will ultimately believe, and your employees will believe, that you are and they are the best. Mm-hmm. And that's what I continue to believe. And there's other trainers out there that may disagree with me, and that's okay. Yeah. And they may be better at me in TRX or Taibo or whatever they're teaching right now. And that may be true, but there's nothing that you can do to sway me any other way than thinking that I'm the best at what I do. And ultimately, I'll always continue to believe that. And I'll tell the clients that. I'll tell my marketing that we are the absolute best in what we do because we care and we will hold true to our services and we will provide for you the kind of results that you are paying for and you're hoping for. And There's no way you're going to tell me different.
That's so true. And I think, people who are really amazing at what they do, they all have that same mentality. The other day, as I was driving, I forgot who it was, but I was listening to a Breakfast Club interview, and it was a rapper. And, he was saying that he's the best rapper alive. And then one of the interviewers was like that's how you should feel. If you want to be successful in your lane and what you're doing, that's the mentality you should have to propel forward.
Yeah.
'Cause why not? Like no one can tell you different. People can think us, but as long as you have that, you can move forward and be successful.
I agree. People are going to hate on you. They're going to criticize you. But, you're going to get that regardless, even if you don't think you're the best at anything. It's just never going to go away. So in order for you to succeed at what you want to do and what you love and what you're passionate about, you just got to have that mentality. Because it's a tough world out there. You got to have a thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
And, people are always going to criticize somebody for something, whether you're doing good for the community or not. And your heart, your passion. You just got to keep grinding and tell yourself you're the best, because ain't nobody gonna stop you. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. So that's how it is. That's what it is.
What's the future for you and Motifaith business?
Like I said, if you took a look in my mind of what I had planned, you'd be amazed. And I see things that nobody else can really resonate with, because I see it being so successful that it's hard to articulate. It's hard to put in words of what I see myself. But from a summary standpoint, I want to explode this business into multiple studio facilities that we're helping hundreds of clients all over many different communities, blowing this place up, that every area in Milwaukee that needs help will get the kind of help they need. Just almost a sanctuary for people that can go to without feeling intimidated, without feeling pushed, not in a pushed way that they need to work out, but pushed in a way that they feel uncomfortable, that they don't like working out.
Yeah.
It's just, I see it all over the Midwest and ultimately all over the United States. And it's another opportunity to teach trainers the right way and to kind of help evolve them like I was evolved the right way. I've learned things to do the wrong way, and I just want to teach trainers and teach staff and help clients to pursue things the right way. And this place is going to blow up, and hopefully the idea and the service and the mission that we have will blow up along with it. So
this is just something I thought of right now. You talked about accessibility and making this accessible to others, throughout Milwaukee and the Midwest. I think, different places of the city, we have different accessibilities, different, I guess I don't want to say classes, but just money issues could be. What would you say for example, inner city Milwaukee kid, that might not, he wants to go to the next level, but can't maybe, go to a gym or get that personal trainer. What would you say to them, kind of, what steps to take, or what, how can they?
You talking to somebody who wants to be a trainer or wants to have access to a trainer?
Wants to have access.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ultimately, we want to help as many people as we can. That's the biggest thing for businesses, is to ultimately care about what you do. And, I care enough to want people to make a change in their life. So the variety of services that we offer, which is cool, that for somebody that doesn't have access to our facility, is the online training. They can go online and they can work with a trainer and they can work with a coach, and we can kind of interact over emails and, live chats and those type of things. And we can provide different documents and programs for those people that don't have access to coming over to our facility for a lot less of an investment than it would cost to work with a trainer one-on-one. Because as much as we want to see people face to face, because that's the ultimate motivation, right? Like you were mentioning, not everybody has access to that. So we want to provide those resources to people that don't have access ultimately to the, brick and mortar studio. They still can go online and still get the same kind of results and motivation, accountability that somebody face to face would have.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Man, I'm pumped up now.
Yeah, right. So even somebody that, on the flip side, somebody that wants to be a trainer, there's so much resources on the internet. But it's also saturated too. So you really got to focus on your niche and what you want to focus on, and use the internet to your advantage. Google, helping elderly. people, just physical therapy in elderly class. And there's tons of things that you could find on the internet that I didn't have access to when I was going through middle school and all those type of things that you just gotta really take advantage of technology and, the internet and use it to your advantage. Don't use it for bad.
Right.
Don't go on starting beef on the internet. Use it for good. Focus on building your success and building your niche, your thing, and you can flourish, man.
Gotcha. All right. So we talked a little bit about not knowing what to do after high school, after college. If someone that was going into, they're in their senior year, going to go into the real world, what advice would you give that person if they don't know what their next move is going to be?
That's a great question. The focus has to be on, like I mentioned earlier, finding what you're putting your passion into. I used to play video games, man. That was my thing, and it has nothing to do with the gym, but it resonates with some people that just like gaming. I mean, there's a whole realm out there of people that are still gaming, even in their adult career.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. It didn't turn into something that was, taking place of my work life or my family life. It's just a hobby I like to do. But don't get down on yourself. Find out what you're passionate about and build on that. Use the internet, use your resources, use your library, read books, find people that were successful in that particular industry and just build on that. Find your resources, and you just got to keep searching for things you like to do. Take an odd job, be a landscaper. I don't know, do what you want to do. Work at McDonald's for a little bit until you get your mind right. You're going to find something that you like to do, but you got to keep moving. Never stay still. Never stand still, because everybody's going to pass you by. You're going to have an idea that you wish you would have started that you told somebody about. They're making action, they're making moves, but you're not doing anything. So my one advice is just keep moving, keep doing something, work, go on the internet, do your research, but never stand still. Don't do nothing. Be busy doing something.
Gotcha.
Piggyback riding from you being the best.
Yeah.
Do you think that your passion chose you, or did you choose your passion?
I think my passion chose me. It's just I just put myself in the best positions to acquire that passion, and I was never a bad kid growing up. I wasn't into drugs. I didn't like do anything crazy. To this day, I never even smoked a cigarette before. I think I tried one day, but I didn't know how it worked. but I don't. It's nothing I gloat off of. I don't like throw it in people's face. It's just I just put myself in the best position to succeed, and I followed my brothers, and I put myself going to the gym with them and seeing what they do day to day. I used to chill with my dad in his office and see his work ethic. So I just think that the positions I put myself in ultimately helped me choose my passion. And my passion just flourished by putting myself in those best positions. Fitness, working out. Who doesn't like muscles, man?
This is true. That is true.
What's the best advice you've gotten, and who gave you that advice?
My dad. He told me that when you choose what you want to do for work, don't let anybody tell you no. You just keep working. Don't let anybody tell you they can't do it. Almost sounds like a movie quote, but I kid you not. There was times that I got frustrated and didn't know what I wanted to do because I just wasn't the one that was pursuing baseball like the rest of my brothers. That he saw something special in me, and he just said, "You just keep doing it. People are going to tell you no all the time." He told me that people told him no all the time, and you just got to keep working. Just keep working. Don't get down on yourself, because nobody's going to feel sorry for you.
Right.
You just got to keep working, and he's a testament to what I believe today. People tell him no all the time, but he never stopped. So I think if I just, I'll tell that to my son when he's struggling with something or he fails at something, but it's just is some of the best advice I've ever received in my life is just listening to him and watching him do what he told me to do. Never give up.
It's amazing. If you could have dinner with one person that are alive, who would it be, and where will you take them?
Man. That's crazy. There's so many. I mean, who do you really? I think Mark Cuban is somebody that I followed for a while, just because he's so bold with his actions.
Yeah.
And he's just so out there with his ideas, and he's just so upfront with you, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and he's ultimately the person that you would want to strive to be, because he has a story behind his billions. He owns an NBA team. He's on TV. I mean, I think a lot of people strive to be what he's at right now, and I'm sure he doesn't paint himself to be some sort of hero or anything like that. It's just he is a definition of hard work. He's a definition of what made himself to be hard work, and I think he has a lot of ideas in that brain. It'd be nice to talk to him and just kind of see his ideas and put it in a different perspective from where my life is at right now, and that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. He's a cool dude. Yeah. I never met him face to face, but he seems like a pretty cool dude on TV, and the stuff that he writes about. But yeah, I think that Mark Cuban, he'd be the guy.
Where will you take him?
Where would I take him? I don't know. I guess wherever I can afford his taste, I guess. But he seems like a pretty low key dude, so I'm sure we'll grab a burger at a downtown restaurant or something like that. So yeah. Nothing fancy. I'm sure he don't like that.
What, in your opinion, what's the most common reason people quit or fail?
I see it all the time in my line of work, from clients to employees. I just think that when people find out that they're just not good at something right then and there, they just quit. I found that with employees. I found that with clients, that if you tell a client to do a push-up or you tell them to run a mile, they just don't want to do it because it hurts. The pain at that moment that they feel is enough to discourage them or frustrate them that they don't want to do it anymore. But, ultimately, it's never going to stay like that forever. In the business I'm in of motivating and encouraging people, you got to let them know that it's not, that feeling that you feel right now is not going to last forever. Just like in sports, you swing a bat 100 times and you only hit it 10 times out of those hundreds, you're frustrated with yourself. It's just, you got to keep going to practice the next day. You got to get better, because it's just that feeling that you feel of failure or frustration that you can't hit the ball right, or you can't run a mile in the proposed time that they want you to. It's going to be frustrating, but it's not going to be like that forever. You just got to put in the work and be patient. Be patient. I mean, how many times have we wanted to quit? I hate running that mile in middle school. Man. But it sucks. But, the thing is, you get through it and you feel a lot more accomplished once you're done with it. Just like you did at the marathon. It's just you feel so much better about yourself if you just don't give up. And I try to tell my employees that. I try to tell past employees that, clients that, is that look what you did now when you thought you couldn't do before. It's kind of gloating in their face a little bit, laughing. Yeah. But it's crazy. It's crazy. It's a mind thing. Yeah. You got to get out of your head a little bit.
That's where faith comes into play.
Yeah. You got to get out of your head a little bit. You will talk yourself out of it, but your body knows that you can do it. So you just got to keep doing it.
Gotcha.
One last question.
Yeah.
Before we let you go. I know you're a very busy man. So obviously, the podcast is called Ordinary Freaks.
Yeah.
We leave that, open for interpretation for anybody. This is a question we ask at the end to all guests.
Yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how weird are you? How much of a freak are you, and why?
I'm a 10, because I think you got to be in this line of work I'm in. You got to be a little weird. You got to be a little bit you got to be a little bit different. There's so many studios, so many personal trainers out there. You could Google personal trainer and millions of things will pop up. But if you want to stand out and be motivating enough that you would want to be one of those dudes on TV, be pushing people, yelling at people to do better, get the next rep, one more rep. You just got to be a little bit crazy. And I think I put myself in that position that you got to be different and stand out. And I think I'm a level 10. I'm definitely a level 10.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, you got to be, man.
Yeah,
you got to be different.
You have to be.
Too many people out there.
Lex, well, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Before we let you go, can you let the people know, where they can find you, where they can find your business, the time for your Plug.
Yes. Cool. Well, yeah, it was a pleasure being here too. The cool thing about us is that you can stop into our brick and mortar in Hales Corners. We are located on Highway 100 and College Avenue in Hales Corners, Wisconsin. And on the website at motifaithfit.com. We're all over social media. We're blasted all over. So if you're into working out, you want to get ripped for the summer, or you just want to look better, feel better, have more energy, get a little younger, stop in, check us out online. We would love to have you and kind of tweak your mind a little bit about how fun fitness can be. So it's a good time.
Oh,
Awesome, man.
thank you.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
All right. Nice, man.
Thank you. All right, Ordinary Freaks, another episode here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you. Peace.
See ya.
Peace.